Here's a study by Philidor from 1803. Key elements: white has a passed pawn that is protected, so black has to stay in the square of this pawn, also known as the area. It has to stay, so it's always able to catch it, for instance, all the way here, and still catch the pawn when it starts to run. They have also passed pawn here, but it's not protected, so the king has to kind of be able to protect this pawn while guarding this pawn. It's a draw with either color to move, but it's interesting, more interesting as black to move. And first move is pretty natural. King e5, trying to hold on to both sides. King e3, kind of natural too. And now going f5 is not the right way, because then king doubles back here. If you start to run, actually white doubles back, and this is much harder to guard on g4 than on g5. So this pawn will eventually lose, and then the game. This is no good endgame ever if this pawn is lost. Black's ability to win this pawn is just hopelessly too slow, because whenever it goes here, this runs really fast. And black's already in front of the pawn, though this is not fast at all. And yeah, trying to hold on here is no good either. White has opposition here. If you push the pawn, you lose the pawn. If you try to hold on, and the push always fails. Coming here fails completely to a check. And yeah, this just double back, go win this one and the game. So right move here is kind of weird looking. King d5 instead. White can't really go through this square, attack the pawn instantly, so black has a little time, and he uses this time well. It's not, the idea is not to go after this, because this is too fast. But he wants to be able to meet. Whenever king comes to g4, black king has to come to f6. But it defends the pawn, but stays in the square of this pawn here. Here white has ideas. It can sack the pawn to win the pawn. White will always win this pawn, but since their pawn is on their side and black has an opposition here, this is a drawn position. Another try here is, instead of sacking the pawn, is to go king h5. But then black can still stay in the square here, defend their pawn. White actually has to push here. King h6 loses the game, because black pawn runs while white doesn't. Black can catch this, white can't catch this. So here white has to give up the pawn, and then we go into the same endgame we already saw. It's no good, and a draw.